Hello guys, welcome to Volgograd. Behind me, the Volgograd Arena. In an hour's time, we'll have a game sold out in the second tier Russian football. Rota Volgograd, who, don't forget, knocked Manchester United out of the UEFA Cup over, was it, 23 years ago. They're now right back down in the second tier, fighting relegation, and they're playing Krylia Sovietov today, who are near the top of the table. It is sold out, like I say, so this is going to be a magnificent occasion. Oh my word though, Volgograd. I mean, just the name itself, well, let's just put it into context. I'm no historian, but anybody knows the significance of Stalingrad, possibly the most emblematic battle of the Second World War. Just behind this stadium is the Volga River, across which, when it was frozen, Russian forces could go back and get the vital supplies that they needed. That river, the Volga River, which is just magnificent in itself, has played such an important part, and that is a backdrop to this stadium. Well, what can I say about the city itself? It's actually scorching. You can see clear blue skies. In fact, just over my shoulder there, there, you see that statue there, you'll recognise that. That is the Mother Russia statue, and that is quite an icon. The city is just beautiful. It's a classic Soviet architecture in the centre. The train station is, if you know anything at all about Soviet architecture, then you'll know how magnificent they make their grand buildings, and the stations, usually I find, are the most spectacular of all. And the Volgograd station is no exception. But the buildings in the centre, the parks, are just absolutely beautiful. I'm sorry for all these superlatives I'm using here, but it's quite hard not to. It really has made an impression on me in the city. So, anyhow, guys, thanks for joining me here. I'll be in Samara and Nizhny Novgorod in the next few days, so I'll post a few more videos from there. But you know, one thing that's really struck me, and this is true about a lot of the places I've been to, Saransk a week or two ago especially, but really has been put into sharp focus here, is just quite how phenomenal this country is. The cities that people have heard of, they don't really think much of them outside, I find. I mean, this is just my own take, perhaps uneducated take. But Volgograd, it's a strange city. It's a very long city, right along the banks of the river, but they've retained a feel, for me, of what a significant place this is. The memorials that are actually not too far from here, just a few minutes walk down the riverbank, I think are very tastefully done. In fact, I think the favourite one I've seen so far is an old building that's been, bombed out in the Second World War, but has been left to stand and is now fenced off from people getting close to it, so it stays exactly as it was. It's not been constructed, it's not in any neoclassical style or whatever the hell it is. Don't worry, I'm sure I've used completely the wrong architecture term there, but that's besides the point. The fact is, they just simply left it as it was. And around it there are statues, there's a wonderful embankment. Well, all I can say is, this is a destination in itself. It's not just simply a venue for the World Cup. This is a place to visit. The weather is fantastic, and we're only the 2nd of May today, right at the beginning of, the middle of spring, not really properly into summer yet, and here we are. Now I'm going to walk around a bit further, because just over my shoulder, in that direction, you can only just about make out the river itself. That is, of course, the lifeblood of this country. In fact, that is the blue line through the Russian flag, of course. And Volgograd, what was Stalingrad, of course, is about as emblematic as it comes along the river. Now, England, of course, will play here on the 18th of June against Tunisia. They'll open up the World Cup campaign before heading off to Nizhny Novgorod and Kaliningrad. I've not seen Nizhny Novgorod yet, but it is one of the historic cities, in Russian terms, not too far from Moscow. A few hundred kilometres still, but I've seen Kaliningrad, and that is a lovely little city that was, of course, Königsberg, and has been, again, the character's been retained. It still has a German feel. In fact, most of the souvenirs and memorabilia still say Königsberg, not Kaliningrad. but not in an antagonistic way or sort of a faux independence way, but simply because the character of the old centre was kept. Volgograd, well, it's not got the sort of dual background like that, but it's got memorials without too many. There's a lovely little Heroes Alley, which is where the fan park was near where the fan park will be in the World Cup. Lovely little alley. It's got a tasteful memorial, but it's made into an accessible area, and it's one of these things I've said on these short videos before a number of times that Russia does so well using public spaces, making them accessible, making them actually worthwhile. Sorry, the lighting's getting a bit dark around this side, but it is one of the best parts of places around this country. They really do plan it well. They think about people's needs. There's right in the centre there. I mean, part of my job here has been photographing the hotels and bars and the places where fans will need to go. Another one of the volunteers. Absolutely wonderful, these volunteers are. There are 330 of them around the stadium. I was speaking to one called Kirill earlier. Good taste, good man. He's a Manchester United fan. He's not into Route to Volgograd, who incidentally I do hope lose today, simply because my club, FK Tyumen, are in the relegation zone in the FNL, and Route to Volgograd are just above them, a couple of places above. Yeah, the city planning is just lovely. Well, there we go. I'm just going to keep walking around. This is the Volga River. Now, I mean, I've not been to Egypt to see the River Nile. I've not been to Brazil to see the Amazon. I have actually seen the Amazon, but not in Brazil. But I mean, I'm not quite sure how much of a sense of the scale you can get from this shot. But you wouldn't even, if you were just dropped in here and nobody told you what city you're in, you'd have to question whether it's a river or not. It looks like an inlet to a sea, but it is. Well, it literally was, like I mentioned earlier, a lifeblood of this country. Well, there you go, guys. There's a little snapshot of the stadium. I'll take some more pictures and I'll post them on my Instagram, and I'll be doing a feature on... there we go, that's better. I'll be doing a feature on Volgograd, the city, for thesefootballtimes.co, and I'll be writing a stadium review for Stadium Journey, and also I'll be doing a short little snippet for Volgograd Live as well. So keep your eyes peeled, guys. More content coming. Samara and Nizhny Novgorod to follow. But I hope you've enjoyed my little view of around the stadium. I mean, just look up at this. So you can't quite tell here, but after the game it's going to look absolutely incredible. There are little lights just attached to each of the diagonal beams. So this game will finish at 7 o'clock. Dusk will be just about starting. And after the game, that is going to look just even more incredible, if that's possible. Well, there you go. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'll take a few shots and videos from inside the ground. And other than that, thanks for joining me. And I will see you soon in Samara and Nizhny Novgorod. Пока.